Hey! Welcome to another video on the worst Need for Speed ever, the series where we take a look at what the community believes to be some of the worst games in the series and play devil's advocate. We already played the PS2 version of Need for Speed Undercover, Need for Speed Nitro, the Wii version of The Run, and Most Wanted 2012. And now we are finally going to take a look at some of the handheld ports. And of course, when talking about ports, I thought it could bring someone special to play this with me. So please put your hands together for Lex!
Huh? I never agreed to this.
What do you mean? I thought we were playing these together.
No. Why would I put myself through that?
What do you mean? Okay. Roll the intro now. So we're gonna take a chronological look at some of these games here. Not in the game's release order, but the handheld itself. So for example, I'll start with Porsche Unleashed for the GBA, then Underground 2, and after I finish them, I'll move on to Underground again, but on the DS. I know this seems counterintuitive, but I know if I finish the GBA games, I'll never want to come back to them again. I started with Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed, but I'll kinda skip this one because of how simple it was. It was impressive to actually play a GBA game that had 3D graphics, but there's simply not a lot to it. You simply start the game playing race after race after race, being able to change in between one of two different Porsches in each race. Again, while it's pretty cool to see a 3D game running on it, the downsides show up pretty quickly. You can't see more than a few meters ahead of you because everything turns into a blocky mess. So the game gives you arrows so you can do the turns. So sometimes you'll be at more than 150 kilometers per hour and the game is suddenly like, look, there's a turn, careful, and you hit the wall. Either that or sometimes they don't even put the arrow there. That's your problem. The cars also feel mostly the same from what I played, but trust me, I didn't play this one a whole lot. They feel pretty heavy, like they were going for a realistic handling, but whenever you hit a wall, you bump back into the road, so there's some wiggle room for controlling a car on the D-pad. But I then move on to Need for Speed Underground, and let me tell you, this one was actually insane to see. It starts with a cutscene of a Celica running down a street, and then the cars start changing color and then getting vinyls and the body kits start changing. I seriously did not expect this, but there's actually car customization in this game. Already a long way from only being able to change between a few colors in the last game. And not only that, but you can hear Sucked in the background, with vocals and everything. Getting to the menu, you're hit with you know what. Look, don't get me wrong, the quality is terrible, but I wasn't expecting to get full real songs in this. If there's one thing I can criticize is that whatever you click in the menu makes the song start over, so you have to hear again and again throughout the menus. That can get annoying. And that being said, you pick your starter car and start challenging people to races. The idea is that there's like a blacklist you have to go through, and every time you get to the top, you move on to a harder league. It's not bad, and you actually have to spend money to race, so there's always something at risk, even though the fee is usually only $100. I believe the game uses the same engine as the last, but it seems they learned how to work with it a little better. You can make out what things were supposed to be now, and you can actually see a little bit further ahead now. They also added these giant arrows when you need to make a turn, and it helps a lot. The cars feel way different though. Way more arcadey than the last one, but you can quickly grasp the controls. Your car takes a bit to turn, but it can oversteer a lot if you hold it for too long. It still obviously isn't the best way to play Underground because it's still hard to see sometimes and it feels like they still didn't figure out the level design very well. But if I had this as a kid in a GBA, I'd be playing the hell out of it. Oh, they also have this distortion effect whenever you use nitros. That was really cool too. If you want to check a deeper look into this game, I highly recommend Lex's video on it. I'll leave a link for her video in the description. Underground 2. I had high expectations for this one considering the last game. and it's actually not bad. The game starts in the same way as it did before. It seems like they reused most of the things in this one, but right when you get into the game you can see the improvements they made. The game now runs way better than before, and you can actually see way better too. They added some billboards with the arrows now, so it's even easier to see where you need to go. The handling also got better in my opinion. It's way more arcadey and easy to control, so it makes it easier to make turns, but they made them steeper to compensate. If you need me to say something bad about this one, it's the music. I don't know what happened, but they completely gave up on having actual music in the game and went back to simple MIDI-like tunes in this one. Of course, maybe I was expecting too much because of the last game, but come on, you already did it before. Maybe it was over the budget for this one? I don't know. There's also more game modes. While you had circuit and drag races in the last one, here you get circuit, drag, drift, which no, does not feel good, and some special minigames that they are there. This one is probably my favorite so far. There's a lot of content here, so if you got a GBA, this might be a good addition for your collection. And we are finally at Need for Speed Most Wanted. The fan favorite, the people's choice, the game that peaks racing games in the 2000s. And it sucks. This one is nothing but a cash grab and it's obvious. I noticed that there's no cutscenes in this one like in the last game, so you're simply brought to the start screen and that's it. After that, you pick your car, check the blacklist, which consists of some of the guys from the original game and some made up to be there, and start racing. It works basically like Most Wanted. You race against random people, and after you meet the requirements, you can race a blacklist member. But blue tag, why does it suck then? Well, my fellow viewer, one day I was also as naive as you. The game is exactly Underground 1, but with a Most Wanted skin over it. The handling went back to the same as it was in Underground 1, which, while wasn't bad by any means, made no sense considering the one in Underground 2 was so much better. The soundtrack with real music hasn't come back, and I'm losing hope here, so instead you got this. Yeah, now imagine hearing this throughout the whole game. They also removed game modes, so you only have circuit, sprint, and lap knockout, which, why? You already had drag races in the last one, so I don't get it. But at least they added a map, which I was craving for since the first game. Thank you Need for Speed Most Wanted for the Game Boy Advance. Customization also took a step back, so you now have a few set of body kits for each car and that's it. Sad. And for the last GBA game we have Need for Speed Carbon, Own the City. As far as I understand, Own the City is its own version of Carbon with a different story and gameplay, released for every handheld ever made. They tried going their own way instead of following the same story of the original game, probably because of what happened to Most Wanted. And, you know, this game got me confused. It doesn't have a cutscene again, but you have music in the main menu. Of course, it's just one song, but it's actual music. And everything here seems exactly the same as in Most Wanted, so I thought they probably just reused everything again and it's going to be another cash grab, but this one even has a story now. You get slides explaining that you were in a car crash and you lost your memory. Your brother died in it and now you have to go through the city trying to get back control with your crew. I really wanted to see where this one goes, but I guess the PSP version would be better for that. The visuals are definitely not very good. The frame rate is really low, but somehow it plays like the first game. And no, not Underground, Porsche Unleashed. So, let me get this straight. You made Porsche Unleashed, then moved to Underground, that had a mix of Bill's handling and a more arcadey one, then Underground 2, which had a super arcadey one with better graphics. Then Most Wanted went back to Underground 1's handling, but stripped away most things. And then Carbon is Most Wanted again, but with BU's handling? Why are we going backward here? Don't get me wrong, besides the crappy frame rate, I was really enjoying this. You have body kits again, and you can change spoilers, rims, and whatever, so there's more customization than in Most Wanted. But it's weird that they don't seem to get a grasp on what they want to do with these games. There is a new game mode where you have to hit other cars to be in first, but the physics are a bit janky, so it doesn't really work very well. Besides that, nothing really new. If I wanted to put this somewhere in a tier list, it would probably be a B. But I didn't make a tier list for this video. So let's make one. I couldn't find any tier lists for the GBA games, probably because no one ever forced themselves to play this so far. So I'll use the covers everybody knows for it. Porsche Unleashed. This is a hard one. It's a very simple game, but so was the original. It was the first game developed by Rocketeer, the devs who made all the GBA games, and I think this one deserves to be on average, because that's what it is. It's only special because of its 3D graphics, which weren't very common on the GBA, but besides that, there's just not a lot to it. Gameplay is alright, graphics aren't very good, only one game mode, so yeah, pretty average. Underground was weirdly awesome. Hearing actual music from it was cool, and it sometimes transitioned directly into the race, so kudos for that. Gameplay felt a bit janky, but it's easy to grasp. A new game mode and a bit better graphics can be pretty frustrating at times. I'll put this one at good. Underground 2, easily my favorite. While it doesn't have any music, it had the best gameplay. I could see what was happening and where I was going. The music wasn't too repetitive, and the only things missing was a story and a minimap. That's it. I don't think you could get much better than this, so it's going on the best. Most Wanted, definitely the worst. I just woke up a lot of people by saying that. But I'm talking about the GBA port, people. Calm down. I know there's gonna be someone in the comments saying, oh, but that's not good, you should have played the PS2 version, because the PS2 version... I know. After Underground 2, I was expecting something even better, but this one was a big letdown. No story, the gameplay went backwards, they took out game modes for no reason, and didn't even add back drag races. The customization took 10 step backs. Just no reason to play this one over any other. Oh, and the M3 looks like this. And Carbon. Very interesting game. I was into the story, it seems like very cheesy, but 2000s cheesy. The gameplay seemed realistic again, and they added a new game mode. Not a lot of content. The cars are the same as in Most Wanted. A lot of reused content, but it's definitely better than the last one. Customization got a little better again. Music got better, tracks got better. Pick this over Most Wanted any day. It's good. And that's it for this one. I wanted to play every handheld ports in this video, but it's clearly not possible for me to do that. I only have a week to play, write a script, record and edit, so I guess you have to wait a little more, Most Wanted DS. I'm still not sure if I should play the other parts fully and make a video for each game, or play them for a while like I did here and put every game on one video. So if you played them before, let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate that. Oh, and a huge thank you to Lex for showing up in this video. She makes some amazing videos about video game ports and some obscure games, but they are always extremely interesting, so just trust me on this one and go check it out, you're gonna love it. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care!